Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Arsene Wenger admirate Martin Odegaard says he is a master at everything. Arsene Wenger has been waxing lyrical about Arsenal midfielder Martin Odegaard in an interview with Norwegian television. The former Arsenal boss was in attendance on Boxing Day to see the Gunners continue their fine form at the top of the table. Of course, Odegaard was key that day as he continued his fine individual form, and speaking to TV2, Wenger admitted Odegaard is a super player who he has been so impressed by. Wenger said of Odegaard the following: "He is a very calm player who analyzes the game well. He has his feet firmly planted on the ground. I am super impressed. He really is a down-to-earth and nice boy. The way he analyzes the game, he also did that as a 15-year-old. The sharpness, I am really impressed. He will do well." After he came to Arsenal, he has found his creativity back. He plays amazingly well and masters everything in the game. He is complete. I like him in every way in the game. Defensive and offensive, he has developed very well. It's really amazing. His decisions, he is also a leader in the team. You see that Norway is now getting more top-class players, and I hope they can do well internationally in the years to come. Odegaard was signed by Arsenal for around £30 million in what now looks like one of the bargains of the decade. We don't really need to add much more to what Wenger has said, but this is just proof in the pudding for how good Odegaard has been for Arsenal. Eyebrows were raised when he was made captain, but that has been an inspired choice by Mikel Arteta really. Odegaard is now essential for Arsenal and key to their success. If he stays fit and in form, then this Gunners side can win the league. Arsenal trigger 1-year extension in William Saliba's contract. Arsenal have reportedly triggered an extension in William Saliba's contract that will keep him at the club until at least 2024. That's according to The Athletic's David Ornstein, who claims the Gunners have made the decision to extend the Frenchman's deal while talks over a new complete deal remain ongoing. The report read, Arsenal have activated the option to extend William Saliba contract until June 2024. Existing terms were due to end June 2023, and deadline to trigger extra 12 months was December 31. Arsenal did so in recent days. Talks continue over a fresh deal. Saliba, 21-year-old, has been a revelation at the Emirates since his return from loan with Marseille. Although signed all the way back in 2019 from Saint-Etienne, it wasn't until the start of the current season that the 21-year-old was awarded his club debut, and he hasn't looked back since, revolutionizing the Gunners' backline and making a similar impact to the one Virgil van Dijk made at Liverpool. Saliba's exploits have not gone unnoticed among fans, pundits, or the club's decision-makers. While fans wait to learn if the Londoners can agree to a new deal with the young French centre-back, they will at least be able to sleep comfortably in the knowledge he won't be going anywhere anytime soon. Agbonlahor suggests a new role for Martinelli at Arsenal. Former Aston Villa man Gabi Agbonlahor has tipped Gabriel Martinelli to play as a centre-forward if Arsenal signs Mykhaylo Mudryk. The Gunners are in talks to add the Ukrainian winger to their squad in the January window, and it seems they will be successful. The winger has flirted with a move to the Emirates for a while and could see Arsenal change their first team setup as we know it. He also plays on the left wing, the same position Gabriel Martinelli plays, although he is adept at filling in at other roles across the attack. Agbonlahor believes the Brazilian could be moved to a more central role if Modric arrives, he tells Football Insider. They have got Nketiah at the moment, they have got Jesus, who will be coming back at some point, but even with lack of options, I think they see Modric as a player they can't let pass them by. They could play him as a false nine, they can put Martinelli up front to lead the line, as he has done before. Arsenal obviously don't want to let Modric slip through their fingers. Modric is one of the finest attackers around now, and he is almost certainly getting a place in our starting 11 when he arrives. Martinelli has also been in superb form, so he cannot stay on the bench. If the Ukrainian proves to be a better player, we are likely to see Martinelli move to a new position. Arsenal will wait all January if they have to for Youri Tielemans. Journalist Dean Jones has been speaking about Youri Tielemans to Arsenal and believes there is a chance a deal might still get done. Tielemans to Arsenal has been a stop starter for some time now. It's thought that Mikel Arteta is keen on landing the Belgian, who is free to leave Leicester for nothing in the summer. That has prompted talk of Arsenal making a bid in January to get Tielemans through the door quicker. However, speaking for Give Me Sport, Jones believes any deal for Tielemans is likely to be done late in the window, with his feeling being that the Gunners will wait it out and see if he is still available. Jones told Give Me Sport the following: "The hunch that I get from speaking to people close to this situation is that Arsenal would prefer to just see the situation play out through January and hope he's still available at the end of it." Tielemans would be an ideal signing for Arsenal, given their list. They are believed to be keen on landing both a winger and a central midfield player. Tielemans fits the bill, having Premier League experience behind him already. The big risk for Arsenal here is that they leave things too late, and in the end, Tielemans has already signed for a new club. The Belgian is a class act and on his day, one of the best Premier League midfielders. He is proven at international level and has delivered in big moments for the Foxes as well. He is one on the surface of things, the perfect Arsenal signing really. He improves that central area and wouldn't need time to settle in. Essentially, he'd be a home run signing for Mikel Arteta, but waiting it out in January is risky, and with other clubs keen, Tielemans might well sleep the net in the end when it comes to Arsenal. Arsenal now ahead of everyone in bid to sign Adrien Rabiot. Arsenal are leading the race to sign French international midfielder Adrien Rabiot, according to reports from Italy. Calciomercato claims that the Gunners are ahead of the pack when it comes to signing France's star Rabiot, who is fresh off the back of an excellent World Cup over in Qatar. Despite coming out as runners-up, Rabiot showed his class in helping France to the final. However, he is yet to sign a new contract with Juventus, and he is widely expected to leave the Italian side and head for pastures anew, either in January or the summer. But according to Calciomercato, it's Arsenal who are leading the hunt to sign him. It's claimed that, in terms of a free transfer in the summer, it's the Gunners who are currently ahead of the rest. Of course, a whole host of teams have been linked with a move for Rabiot. In the Premier League, the likes of Liverpool and Tottenham are big fans. Over in Europe, it's been claimed Barcelona are in the mix as well, with Rabiot said to have an eye on joining the Spanish giants. Arsenal, meanwhile, are looking to add depth in January. Rabiot is one of a number of names being linked with a move to the club. If Mikel Arteta is actively looking at players who improve the first 11 and the squad in general, then Adrien Rabiot is a player who ticks the boxes. He proved over in Qatar what he is all about. Yes, things haven't always gone exactly as he might have liked in his career so far, but Rabiot has a lot to offer and showed this in the World Cup. He will no doubt command big wages, but if Arsenal can get him on a free, then that could counterbalance those big wages. Arsenal is unlikely to sign Serie A star Sergej Milinkovic-Savic in January. Arsenal has been in the running for Sergej Milinkovic-Savic for some time now, and the January transfer window is a good time to add him to their squad. The Gunners have been very improved this term, and they need to keep adding quality players to their squad to ensure they remain at the top of the English game. Milinkovic-Savic is in the top 3 finest midfielders in Serie A and has just 18 months left on his current contract at Lazio. The Italians want to keep him and are in talks over an extension, but the midfielder senses this is his best chance to leave the club and has been reluctant to sign an extension. That should make Lazio keen to offload him, with Arsenal waiting in the wings. But Fabrizio Romano reveals via CBS Sports that the Italians will not sell him in January. If he does not sign a new deal, they will consider offers for him in the summer, but he will not leave them mid-season. Milinkovic-Savic will be a superb addition to our squad if we add him to the group, but we must get someone else if we want him next month. In the summer, there would be many clubs looking at him to their squad, and that could make his transfer fee huge. Arsenal could now turn to Joao Felix as Mudryk bid falters. Arsenal are struggling to get a deal done for Mykhaylo Mudryk at the moment, and according to The Guardian, could now turn to Joao Felix instead. There has been talk of both Modric and Felix arriving in January as Mikel Arteta looks to strengthen his offensive options for the second half of the season. Modric, as we all know, is the number one target, but as it stands, Shakhtar are holding firm and have rejected an initial bid worth £55 million from the Gunners, and The Guardian claims in its transfer roundup that Felix is the one Arsenal might turn to if the Modric bid fails. Of course, news of a potential breakdown in discussions to land Modric will not go down well with Arsenal fans. The winger has been linked for so long that some saw the Ukrainian as effectively signed, but Shakhtar's insistence and resilience seems to be working as it stands. Arsenal then could turn to Atletico's Felix. Their interest in the Portuguese striker is well known as it is, although his price tag and expensive loan fee was thought to be putting the Gunners off. But with no deal in sight as yet for Modric, Arsenal could have to change tact and pay up to land Felix instead. Felix over Modric would disappoint Arsenal fans, and that's not because Joao Felix is a bad player who wouldn't do well with the Gunners. It's just that they have had their eyes set on Modric for so long that it would be a huge letdown if he didn't sign now. Shakhtar are within their rights to ask for huge money as we know, and it appears Arsenal won't be held to ransom either. Of course, the window isn't even officially open yet, and a lot can change. Felix then is clearly someone being considered by the Arsenal board. Arsenal ready and waiting to sign Joao Felix alternative Dusan Vlahovic. Arsenal would be ready to sign Juventus striker Dusan Vlahovic if he became available, according to reports from Italy. Corriere dello Sport claims that Arsenal and Chelsea are ready to battle for Vlahovic, while Manchester United are also said to be waiting in the wings to sign him. Despite only signing for Juventus around a year ago, there has been talk in recent weeks of Vlahovic moving on from the Torino Giants. Part of those rumors come from his form not quite being as good as he showed with Fiorentina, while the other issue for Juve is that they potentially have huge off-field problems afoot. It's claimed by CDS that Arsenal and Chelsea would be ready to unleash a Battle of London for Vlahovic, while the likes of United, Bayern München and Paris Saint-Germain all remain very much in the mix as well. Vlahovic, as we know, was pursued by Arsenal last winter and ended up with Juventus. At the time, he was seen as the Gunners' number one option, and missing out on him seemed a big blow. Of course, since then, Arsenal have signed Gabriel Jesus and others, meaning Vlahovic hasn't been missed. However, it seems all is not lost, and down the line, Arsenal might yet end up with the Serbian anyway. But Vlahovic to Arsenal seems done and dusted, and we mean that as in surely it won't happen now. Arsenal landed Jesus for a start, and while he is injured at the moment, there is no way Dusan Vlahovic is dislodging the Brazilian from the starting 11 when he returns. It would certainly be interesting to see Vlahovic in England, but barring a miracle, a January deal would seem unlikely right now. Arsenal reportedly in talks over Mykhaylo Mudryk. January will hopefully see Arsenal finally get a deal for Mykhaylo Mudryk over the line. According to reports, the Gunners saw a £55 million bid for the Shakhtar Donetsk star, rejected earlier this week. Talks between the two clubs are continuing, according to Shakhtar CEO Palkin, as per the Mirror. Mudryk has been sensational for his club this year and really announced himself to the football world this term. From 24 appearances, he has registered 10 goals and 8 assists. This includes 5 Champions League goal contributions. Modric is clearly a cut above at Shakhtar and looks ready for a big career move. And at just 21, he is nowhere near his peak. He can get so much better. Roberto Di Zerbi, whose Brighton side will host Arsenal today, has managed Modric at the Ukrainian club, and he believes the Gunners' target has the potential to win the Ballon d'Or. Arsenal certainly have the advantage over other suitors, with Modric appearing so eager to join them. However, Shakhtar won't make it easy for them in terms of striking a deal. You can't blame them, as he is such a big asset for them. Modric is an incredible player who has earned comparisons with the likes of Erling Haaland, Sadio Mane and Heung-min Son. Arsenal really have the perfect opportunity to strike gold over the coming weeks with a player whose former manager reckons he can win football's golden individual award. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news show, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.